Yo, what's up guys? It's your boy Anizi with What If Bardock turned Ultra Instinct against Frieza. So, before we start, I'll be mixing up some stuff from Broly movie, the Bardock specials, and the Dragon Ball Minus manga. So let's get started. The hatches of Frieza's ship opened. He had one goal and one goal alone, to destroy the Saiyans and stop the legend of the Super Saiyan from coming true. Once before, a long time ago, his ancestor, Lord Chilled, had fallen to what was described as a golden-haired warrior that called himself a Super Saiyan. Frieza didn't know if these monkeys were the same as the one that destroyed his ancestor and have a similar power that will allow their hair to turn gold and turn Super Saiyan. But he knew one thing: he would not take the chance, and he would kill these monkeys before one can rise up against him and achieve this power and destroy him. That, and it was the orders from Lord Beerus, a person who even he wouldn't be a fool to disobey, especially for a bunch of monkeys that can easily be replaced. Frieza looked down at the monkeys, the Saiyans that had once served him, and spots no one, not even a single Saiyan, trying to save themselves. He had just killed King Vegeta and a bunch of elites who had tried to save the prince. This just proved to him that ridding himself of these animals was the right thing, before they can start a rebellion against him. Frieza then noticed a single Saiyan, one by the hair that looks like a low-class Saiyan. If he remembered correctly, this was the one that his servants, Zarbon and Dodoria, stated as Bardock. What had happened, he had sent Dodoria to kill him and his squad, as they were one of the huge threats according to Zarbon. Well, if you want something done right, you have to do it yourself. He would punish Dodoria for his insolence. Frieza then creates a giant supernova and launches it at the same homeworld. Planet Vegeta, thinking everything was done, as he sat back on his hover chair, waiting for the fireworks, laughing as he waited to see the scouter on his head show the zero. Bardock sees the attack coming. He knew he was right. It was a good thing he sent Kakarot off-world. Bardock had just wished that the other Saiyans would have listened to him. Together they could have defeated Frieza. His squad was gone. He was the last remnant of his squad. He won't die. He will live for them. He will live for Kakarot. He will live for Gine. And he will live for his other son Raditz. He charges a Saiyan Spirit Blast at the giant supernova, but it was useless. Even with his power level of 10,000, it was nowhere near the power level of 530,000 that Frieza loved to show off to everyone. Bardock was consumed by the supernova as memories started to come to him. Him being assigned a squad, which was one of the happiest days of his life. His squad, who was like a second family to him, was taken away by Dodoria under the command of Frieza. He then thought to himself about his family, Gine, his wife, who supported him through everything, his son Raditz, who wanted to be just like him and will no doubt be abused by the living Saiyans, his own people, just to make themselves feel better after the harshness they will feel of Lord Frieza. And finally Kakarot, the kid he will never meet. He knows that the kid will grow up to do good stuff. Bardock wants to see this. He wants to survive. He wants to be with his family, as he instinctively starts to absorb the energy into his depleted body, as his will to survive unlocks a power that no mortal should have. His eyes turn silver, his hair turns silver as well. A huge heat is then emitted from his body. His power level, no longer detectable to the scouters, as a blue silverish aura takes form. Bardock then dispels the supernova as Bardock rushes towards Frieza at blinding speeds. As he punches Frieza in the gut, making him spit out blood, Frieza rushes at Bardock with a fury of punches, enraged that the Saiyan monkey would hit him, only for all of the punches to be dodged. As every punch he did, he felt a strike at him. On Planet Vegeta, the Saiyans, seeing Bardock stop this attack and also land several hits on Frieza, damaging him, got a newfound hope as they rushed to help the savior, as tons of fake moons were created and Ozarus rushed at Frieza's soldiers, overwhelming them. Bardock dodged all of Frieza's attack like it was nothing as he glared at Frieza and then slapped Frieza, sending him crashing towards the floors of Planet Vegeta, as Frieza looked in fear as Bardock charged up a Saiyan Spirit Blast at him. He tried to use the tactics he once used in the Revival of F movie, which was to destroy the planet, but Bardock sensing this with his Ultra Instinct, had fired the Saiyan Spirit before Frieza could even move his hand enough to destroy the planet. Bardock then, with blinding speed, take out all of the Frieza soldiers like they were nothing. The Gine Force, Zarbon, the Doria, all dead. All the remaining Apus dead. The Saiyans all cheered. The years of hell now over. Years of serving under Frieza now paid back with his blood. It was then the Saiyans looked around and saw casualties as they entered the ship of Frieza. They saw several elites killed, and also the king killed because of King Vegeta's failed rebellion. Remaining Saiyans were discussing what to do once they got back. Almost all of their elites were dead. The king was killed, and from what they managed to have gathered from the scouts of one of the soldiers, their prince and his squad were also killed off as final orders from a salty Frieza soldier when Bardock began to best Lord Frieza. Bardock went to Gine as the two embraced. Bardock then sadly told Gine the news of the death of Prince Vegeta and his squad, which also included Raditz, as she broke down crying on Bardock. Before she realized something, she demanded that he go and get Kakarot from Earth before Frieza's remaining soldiers and family can do something to him to get back at us. Bardock agreed as he rushed towards the Saiyan pods. The guards stationed there instantly moved out of the way, not wanting to mess with the Saiyan who made Frieza look like nothing, as Bardock blasts off to Earth. Unknown to Bardock, a certain angel was watching it. This mortal is really interesting. His light hasn't faded yet. What is so special about this Saiyan that he can use Ultra Instinct so flawlessly without it fading away? Whis thought as he decided to keep an eye on this Bardock. After a day or two, Bardock had reached the planet Earth. He had landed near Goku's pod. This was a few days before Kakarot's fall and loss of memories. Bardock spotted two power levels nearby, thanks to one of the scouters he had stolen from the Frieza soldiers. In fact, there were only two power levels nearby, as Bardock rushed into Grandpa Gohan's house and pinned him to the wall by the neck, thinking the old man was trying to do something to his son. "I'll be taking my son now," Bardock says. "So you are young Goku's father?" "I'm sorry, I saw the child in the forest, so I took him in. I don't want any trouble," Grandpa Gohan says, as Bardock stopped and dropped him as Gohan got his breath back. Bardock then went up to Goku. "His name is Kakarot, by the way, and I suppose I should thank you for taking care of my son. Now he needs to go back to his mother who misses him," Bardock says, as he and Kakarot get into their pods and shoot off to Planet Vegeta. Another 2 days later, Bardock lands on Planet Vegeta with Kakarot in his arms, as everyone greets him as the savior of the Saiyans and the slayer of Frieza. He then goes to his and Gine's hut as Gine hugs him and Kakarot. Bardock is then summoned to the castle of Planet Vegeta, where King Vegeta used to live. When he saw the Saiyans acting in charge, who were the elder Saiyans of the planet, he demanded to know what was going on. "Bardock, first of all, we would like to thank you for saving our planet against that tyrant Lord Frieza," an elder said, as Bardock nodded, wanting to get home so that he can have a burial for his son Raditz. "Now, as for why we have summoned you, in light of your recent accomplishments and also the fact that there is no king or prince, we the Saiyan elders hereby crown you the new king of Planet Vegeta, just like how the original Vegeta came into power years ago for being the strongest of us. Now that you are the strongest and that we have no king or prince, you are now the king of Saiyans." Bardock was shocked. He was sure that one of them would try to take over the planet and become king, but it seems like for once the Saiyans thought logically rather than being power hungry. Perhaps being near death had changed them a little bit. He doubted that they would easily change their ways of conquering the planet. In fact, even he don't want to stop that. While that was all happening, inside of what looked like a Frieza mothership, a tall figure was meeting his soldiers as he sat on his throne. When he heard what the soldier told him, he shot the soldier dead out of anger as his power level started to rise. This was King Cold, father of Frieza. "Those insolent monkeys, how dare they kill my son? My little Frieza, dead because of a monkey? No, I will not accept this. Apu, set a course to Planet Vegeta. It's time I show these monkeys what happens when you mess with the Cold family." This time I'll do what my son and my ancestor failed to do. And Friday's apes, the king said. Guys, that's all for today. If you want part 2, don't forget to like and subscribe and comment part 2 below. Peace.